Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Fantasy Rugby Yanks. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Welcome in. It was a busy weekend. Lots to get to and lots to talk about. A lot of talking points.
Yeah, I mean the 49ers Chiefs was amazing.
Besides that, I felt like making a joke on the social media, but I was like, everybody's made the fucking joke, so I'm just done.
Yeah,
I just didn't. I actually purposely didn't talk about the game on social media.
Yeah, me neither.
I think I mentioned I had an Instagram post and it had nothing to do with football, and I mentioned football exactly 0 times.
I'm incredibly happy that Kansas City won, other than the Andy Reid situation. But I'm actually whatever. I'm happy for him. I can forgive and forget
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, good for him.
Mm-hmm.
But Kansas City as an entity is so irrelevant that everybody's moved on. Nobody cares anymore. It's like, they won. All right, cool.
Yeah,
we're done.
Keep moving.
It's not like the when the Patriots win or like a New York team wins, God forbid, and we just hear about it constantly
forever.
Right. Like I don't know when the parade's supposed to be, or if it was today. Usually it's on a Tuesday or something like that. But
might have been today.
Might have been today. I don't know. I don't care. It's
great.
I
totally wasn't paying attention.
Just disappears into the ether like it never happened. That's perfect.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. I'm thirsty. I don't know about you.
I am very thirsty.
Let's do it. Of course, make sure that you are checking us out on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, TuneIn. Rate us, subscribe to us. Definitely rate us. Rates and reviews are awesome for us because we just want to know whether or not we suck.
Yeah, and email us. Let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, emails. If you're a little shy about it, you can email us and let us know if we suck. It's okay.
Yeah,
we'll take the shot. It's all right.
Or tell us on Twitter for the world to see. That's fine.
Yeah,
too.
I'm okay. Yeah, I don't care if the world sees it. Jeez, we listen. If you're telling us that we suck, we know we suck. It's okay.
I have been told I suck on social media on several occasions.
Same.
I'm okay with that. So
Same. It's okay.
Big boy, I can handle it.
I'm far over it. Make sure that you are looking at your TRM upgrades because it's like we said last week, Six Nations short and sweet. So you want to get as much advantage as you possibly can, so that you're not suffering some sort of horrible punishment amongst your friends when you lose your fantasy league. And if you haven't seen any of the ones that are over here for fantasy football, check them out because there's some really terrible ones.
Tattoos and
cars.
Tattoos.
Yeah. Nope. A whole lot of nope. And then certain things you have to do the following year. Nope. Don't do it. Just don't suffer from it. Get your upgrades so you can get that advantage over your buddies, and just not finish last. That's a good thing.
It's a good starting point.
Yes, and then we obviously check out our buddy the Fantasy Rugby Geek. He had some good pointers this week, and I think he was spot on a few of them, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a good friend of ours. And if you're sick of us, check him out.
Yeah, I still think he should replace Eddie.
I'd let him replace Eddie in a heartbeat. I don't know about the rest of everybody, but hey, you know what? That works for me. All right. And then the last bit, Fadialofa has Michael Fadialofa has a fund that's been started in his name. It's got a long road to recovery for the poor guy. Unfortunately, medical insurance just isn't going to take care of it all, and he's a fantastic dude, and it's just a really we talked about it was a super innocuous injury. It wasn't anything that he did to himself or anything like that. It's just so pitch in whatever you can, and it'll be greatly appreciated by the rugby community and certainly Worcester, and obviously Fadiolf, him and his family. Player movement, a little bit of player news that dropped this morning / last night. Chris Robshaw is leaving Quins, and he's going to come over here and play for Rugby United New York.
Oh, well, you know what?
At least we get to boo him twice again.
It's that time in his career.
Yeah, 16. He's been with Quins for 16 years. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, no small feat.
No
small feat. As much as I dislike the guy, I can still admit that he's obviously put himself together a decent career if he's been there for that long.
Yeah.
And he was captain for many, many years as well. Captained England for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. So, and what exactly is the salary cap situation of Rooney? Because what if he's a
I have no idea.
To rat them out?
I don't know. I don't know what if MLR's put a cap on this stuff, or it's just here, if you want to blow your freaking money, have at.
As I understand it, there's a cap in season on what you can pay a player, but out of season, it's.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous, but okay.
So
I'm not sure I would understand how to even get around that.
So Bastereau was making a couple $100,000, but in season it's
cheap
30 to 50 or
but he's
something
also
like that.
probably not training like more than once or twice a week.
Right.
And, okay, I'm tired, sub.
Je suis tired. I'm done. Put somebody else in.
Yeah. But speaking of MLR, we are on the door. We are on the doorstep of season 2 here, or season 3. Excuse me.
Well, season 1 for the really season 1.
Hey, listen, it's the most important season because the Free Jacks are in it now.
Right. Y'all had it easy.
I mean, quick thoughts on the coming season here.
I'm looking forward to seeing the quality of rugby because the last couple of years it's been dominated by a lot of the West Coast teams with just their natural talent.
That seems to just come out of there.
Yeah, and there's a lot better support out west for rugby than there is on the East Coast. So, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'm looking forward to it being a more balanced and even competition now that there's, with Rooney and Old Glory and the Free Jacks. And I think that's they're going to bring a little bit of the balance back.
Yeah.
And
the country won't be so tilted.
Right. And I think that'll be good for rugby. There's a lot more in the US, let's say. There's a lot the bigger names. We talked about Rob Shaw, but Nanu,
Bostro.
Right.
Drew Mitchell coming in, and did you see his tweet when he's like, I can't get away from it, because he obviously used to commentate for Fox Sports for all the Australian games for Super Rugby, and he was watching one. Obviously, he's not playing. He's not doing that anymore because he's playing over here. And he's just like, I can't get away from it. He's like pretending to commentate on the game. He was dying. But yeah, so there's some good stuff. Digby Ioane, I believe, is at Colorado. There's some good things going on over here. I don't know if you pay attention. Obviously, we have Kenny Hatake, who's gonna hopefully lead the scrum along with our good friend Tony. So it'll be really interesting. I want to say that Seattle's not going to repeat, but it's fucking hard to pick against them because they seem to have just like rinsed and repeat. Like they didn't lose a ton and they added.
Well, and I think the Nanu thing is going to really help San Diego. So.
Yeah, that may be the thing that gets them over the line. Who knows?
So, while we just said there'll be balance, it's still likely, especially with the teams on the East Coast still forming.
Give it a year.
Yeah, it's still likely to be a West Coast dominated season this year.
Right.
So I think those are my two favorites, are Seattle and San Diego.
I mean, easy picks, honestly, but it'll be interesting. And we can't talk MLR without talking about Austin, at least for a minute or two. I think it's time to just let the Austin team go by the wayside. I know they want a team in Dallas. Move them to Dallas. Let that be still the second Texas franchise and be done. Because Houston's got plans for they're actually building a new rugby stadium. Like, I don't know how, it's only like 10,000 maybe.
Right.
But it's it'll be a nice rugby purposed stadium. And they've got the right idea, at least, and they're not changing their name every left, right, and center.
Right. And what's their new name?
Gilgronis.
What the fuck? Yeah, it's a drink that has not been released. What? How do you? We're keeping this drink very secret. Like, what the fuck? It's a drink.
It's a drink. Who
but
cares?
Second off, why? Look.
Why did
at least there's a team that has a sillier name than the Free Jacks. So
never again will anybody ask what a Free Jack is, because this just beat it. So thanks, Austin, at least for taking that away from us.
You're awesome.
Way to be. So I do agree. I think Seattle will probably take it. They'll get to the final. Let's put it that way. They'll get to the final, no doubt. Who they play, meh.
Who
but they'll definitely get to the final, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to the action of the weekend. Obviously, we started off in Wales, the Principality, Wales and Italy. Italy had intentions of playing with ball in hand, but almost to a fault. Oops.
Yeah.
Wales 42, Italy Zippo.
I was disappointed that Thomas Williams didn't get over.
We were talking about that.
I wrote early and I was like, he's definitely getting over because he was electric. He was very active and dynamic, and he was finding space. You got it.
Agreed.
That's the difference in a player, especially when you're playing Italy, who is for a Six Nations Go substandard. No disrespect to them. It's just they're playing with very good teams.
Right.
When you have that advantage and you're getting that space. If you're a world class 9 or player in general, and you're finding enough space, you finish.
He came damn close a few
He
times.
came close a few times, but couldn't do it.
Just.
You know who could do it though?
Nick Tompkins, our boy,
and who else?
Josh Adams a few times. A few times.
3 times. Only 3. No big deal.
That won't be his last international hat trick. I can promise you that one.
Oh, no. Maybe not this year. So
yeah, possibly not this year. Although I don't think he'll get over against New Zealand when they go down to play them. But maybe not in this tournament, that's for sure. I'd say he's got a pretty good shot at getting over a few more times. Yeah, he was.
That's all he does.
Yeah, he knows where the try line is, and it's there's a couple other guys that were very good at this weekend as well. But it's something to be said about that. Like knowing what the nose for that line is important.
George North at 13
works pretty well.
Love it.
Works pretty well.
I absolutely love it. I'm not sure how that's going to work with Tompkins around.
We'll see.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if they're going to move North out to wing and put Tomo at 13, or if they're going to
I don't know.
Drop Parks. I don't know if they would do that. I'm not sure if Tomo is better suited at 12 than 13.
Yeah, that remains to be seen, I suppose. Yeah, North definitely can't bump his high. He's got to stay at 13.
Right, he's got to stay at 13, but I like him better there. There was a point where he had the ball out towards the wing, towards that 5-meter zone, and the Wales 14 is outside of him. I'm sorry, I don't have the list and the team in front of me. I'm just thinking of this one specific instance. And if it was reversed, if it was someone else with the ball there and North at 14, they would that 13 would have said, "Oh, you're big. You take the hit here. You get the ball." And then North would have gotten lit up because he's static, and because he's so fucking tall, that whiplash of him hitting the deck is knocking his brain around, and we can't have that. So
Johnny McNichol was the 14.
That's right. So you got to, having that option of him with the ball and with the option to take contact that he can prepare for and control is much. I think I like that better than at him at the wing, where he really can't control that contact.
Yeah, he hasn't. He has not proven to be able to stay up and fit from that stuff.
Right.
So
it's for his safety more than anything.
Yep. Yeah. Agreed. Like I said, I commend the Italians for wanting to play with ball in hand, but it was probably to a fault. Minozzi can't kick. I think I figured that much out. He wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball. That's pretty much what he wants. So great for a wing. Not great if you're going to play fullback. That's a problem. That's a big problem. They did have some bright spots. Callum Brayley and Jake Pelledri and the likes.
Brayley was excellent.
He was excellent. Carlo kind of played pretty well for himself. Was a little under the radar because obviously Italy got battered, but it didn't play too terribly. So gotta give him credit. A couple other new guys stood out. Canoni stood out pretty well.
Yeah, he
did. Give him a lot of credit, especially without Freddie Ruza.
21 too.
Yeah, he's a baby. Yeah, especially without Freddie Ruza, that was a big one. They needed somebody like that to step up in that position, and he did very well. But yeah, Wales do as they should have, and they absolutely tonk Italy, 42-0. Ireland 19, Scotland 12. Lots of head scratching at the end of this, though. Let's just fast forward to the end. We know that there was obviously the Finn Russell thing and Scotland have a chance to at least tie, and they don't get the ball outside of like 2 meters away from the ruck.
What was that? I fell asleep.
Yeah, I know you did.
I fell asleep just thinking about this match.
Calm down over there. Maybe you are too calm. Maybe I need to fire a rocket up your ass. Either way.
Yeah, Scotland, at some point, you can't, unless you're Ireland in this match, obviously, you can't kick 4 penalty kicks and expect to win an international match unless you're already ahead.
Yeah, which Ireland took care of early.
Right. And there's Scotland late in the match, still, 65 minutes in, and they're down, and Hastings is still kicking penalties.
Yep.
I'm sorry. At that point, you
time to go for the jugular.
You got to score a try at some point. You're not even really trying.
Well,
And
I hate
yes,
to point
I
this
realized,
out, but they had a shot at it, and Hogg bottled it completely. Absolutely bottled it. I was like, what? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yikes.
He won't hear the end of this for a
no,
long
he
time.
won't. No. I'm sure
Yikes.
his friends at Exeter won't say anything when he gets back.
Well, he'll see some of them this weekend.
That's
He'll
true.
see some of them this weekend. Oh man, yeah, that was oh boy. Just it's like an open goal, and all you had to do was just slide it into
Tap it in.
just tip tap tap, and he fucking oh man, and obviously it came back to bite them because they only lost by 7, and yeah.
Can I give Ireland a little bit of praise here? I know it's because their try that they scored, the Sexton try. Sexton looked dynamic. When did that happen? He ran a loop.
First.
he ran a loop in open play on the goal line.
Yeah,
I mean,
no set piece.
what the fuck?
Yeah, hey, and was it Healy or Furlong that had the hands? That started it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Caught a short pop and he popped it off to.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Murray. But yeah, it was good old prop hands.
Yeah, but it was a very good sequence of actual rugby played by Ireland on the goal line rather than the smash try to get over.
That Scotland to no avail tried, and then the last play, I said it like, why is Adam Hastings standing right next to the ruck when he needs to get this ball wide? Like you're the fly half, you need to be wide one way or the other. I don't care which one. Pick one and get wide because this ball ain't going through the middle. All right, you're gonna have to get this thing at least to the 13 channel. You know, whether or not it's you carrying it there, I don't care, but you need to fucking move it.
But yeah, and it's kind of disappointing that they don't do playmaker balance at this on Six Nations.
I'd be very curious about that
because I really don't think I know Ireland got it wide a little bit, but Scotland just didn't look like they were really doing anything with the ball.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see if this was not the match for Ireland to showcase their any sort of pizzazz that they've put into their playmaking.
Right.
Number one, this is Andy Farrell, who's a defense coach by trade. His first match, of course, they're gonna just like rock up and play hard defense. So shocker. And Scotland actually have a decent bit of defense to play for themselves. So this might not have been in first game under the new coach. Sometimes you're just not gonna quite see the razzle dazzle. And that's so. I'll give him one pass. Next game, let's see a little bit of something.
Yeah, we got to see something.
So apparently Ireland already named their team.
They did.
Okay, did not know that. Interesting. Let's see what we got here.
Don't believe it changed much.
It didn't. Well, Ringrose is out.
Ringrose, well, right. Aside from that,
Yeah, and then I bet you Caelan Dorst did not recover from that concussion. Nope.
You know, CJ Sanders at 8.
Yeah, that makes sense. Robbie Henshaw's in at center. Okay, so nothing crazy changed. No. Okay, Conway's
Deegan
in
on the bench, so we'll see him.
Okay, I'd like to see Max Deegan. I like him. Yeah, it's too bad Caelan Dorst had such a short debut. That sucks. That was definitely the one downer. But I'll give Adam Hastings a little bit of credit, and then we'll go on to the next match. The one thing that people were questioning, because the one thing that Greg Laidlaw was useful for was kicking goals, and I think people have now forgotten about that because Hastings. I don't know if he missed more than one kick. So
yeah, I don't recall.
At least if he's gonna kick the damn things, make the damn things.
Right, I don't recall him missing one.
So
but again.
Yeah, they need to do more than that. But at the very least, he did hit the ones that he was asked to hit. So good on him. Makes him maybe a little bit more interesting than Finn for some reasons, and some reasons not. But we'll get into that. Let's go to Sunday. Le Crunch. And all the talking points that came from it. Hot start for France.
Oh, unbelievable start.
Love it.
There were a lot of questions for them coming in with their youth and inexperience. They're experienced now.
They showed up big time.
Olivon is, I think, still scoring tries.
I love it.
He just scored another one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, say what you will about the first one. Play the goddamn whistle, number one. Number two, that came directly because Ford couldn't kick well because it went to a French player. He kicked it back. Furbank did not give a good kick in return, and then they return. And then that was where that was the eventual kick that led from. So yeah, the first kick from Ford did not help, and then that led to
Furbank was in a bad spot. He tried something and he didn't execute well, and
he had the jitters. That's for sure.
He had a rough day, and that's on. I of all the people on England and associated with England's program. Actually, the only one I feel bad for is Furbank, because he
got thrown
tried.
he got thrown into a tough situation. That's for sure. And sometimes you're not going to quite come out. And so I hope he gets another shot. I hope this isn't the last we see of George Furbank.
Right. Although I don't know that they have many other options for fullback.
Watson's a decent option.
Okay, yeah.
His kicking suspect, which is the one thing Eddie Jones wants back there, but fuck, is he good in the attack?
Right.
So you got to give him. You got to give him a look.
Furbank's decent in attack too himself. It's just he didn't have much to work with.
No. And we saw the one thing that I continuously will hammer on this one player. George Ford doesn't know what to do when he doesn't have front football.
Right.
He does not know what to do. He had one good kick, and that eventually led to one of England's tries, but that was late. Mm-hmm. And you got to figure that out sooner. And I'm sorry, but Owen Farrell knows what to do there. He had a bad day. He doesn't like 12. I swear to God. Right. It's like he wears the 12 jersey, and something about him in his brain just disappears.
He looked disinterested at times.
Yep.
And I don't, again, I don't blame him so much as Eddie for putting him there. Cause fuck. He doesn't know what the fuck George Ford's going to do, because Ford half the time just is like, puts his head down. He's like, I'm just going to run with it. Fuck it.
Fact.
So Farrell's sitting there like, oh, am I going to get the ball? Am I going to get the ball? Am I going to get the ball? And then all of a sudden it comes. He's like, oh shit, I'm getting the ball, and he knocks it on. Like, yeah, he's got to catch that ball. I'm not.
No,
there's
putting
not
all
an
the blame
excuse
on
Ford,
that by any means.
But at some point, and Ben Young's. First off,
you can't. So here's the thing: you can't start the two of them together.
No,
you can't. Okay, George. I don't care if they play with. Here's the thing: I don't care if they play together.
How good is Leicester?
At Leicester. Do tell, where have Leicester Tigers been hanging out in terms of the table? And I don't give a shit if they lose half their England guys for a few months at a time.
Right, no.
They don't have enough impact when they're back
to
make a difference to the point where they can at least get to Champions Cup. So,
and even when they are playing, when they're playing with Leicester, I notice other players a lot more than I notice either Youngs or Ford.
Fact.
So it's not as though they're even. I don't even consider them to be Leicester's best players. They're decent. But they're not any kind of reason as to why Leicester are not relegated every year.
No, they're
right now.
They're probably. I mean, think back to the more or less the relegation match between Newcastle and them last year. They did not win that by a lot.
No,
they won it by 9.
I don't remember.
I think
I remember it being.
I think it was 2 scores, but it was also like a Guy Thompson intercept / smuggle that ended up being the big thing that scored them the clincher, but. Yeah, it wasn't like they blew them out of the water by any means whatsoever. And that Newcastle team probably should have been blown out of the water by a talented team. As much talent as Leicester has, but Ford and Youngs just aren't that good.
No.
Simple.
Youngs doesn't give great service. Ford definitely doesn't give great service. So when you have a 9 and 10 whose weaknesses are passing the ball, you're not going to have a good time.
There's a big problem there. I'm pretty sure that's their number one job, is to make sure the passes go where they're supposed to go.
Right? You're a distributor. You distribute.
But on to France. Obviously they got a little wobbly as the youth came came on. Guys Wilkie came on, and it got a little bit wobbly at times. Poirot made a big impact off the bench.
He did.
At the very
Poirot
least.
and Bamba, I thought, cleaned up the game pretty well at the end.
Yep. But it got a little wobbly, like I said. But for a France team to wobble and still stay strong to win the game is definitely a step in the right direction for them. Sean Edwards, I think, just upped his pay by 10 G's easily. 10 G's a tackle, maybe.
Right.
That France defense was on England's case, and they never let go.
France just looked like an all-around team right there. Their defense, like you said, was excellent. That was world-class defense. But their attack was again structured. They worked with each other. There was no I mean, they still, and it was great. They still had that flair. They were still doing fun shit with the ball.
Yeah, they were definitely chucking it around.
But the structure makes it easier to do that because okay, this person, his job right now is to be right there. So if I want to throw that pass, okay, good, he's there. Rather than I will throw the pass and maybe he is there, maybe
maybe not.
This works out so much better.
Yeah, 50-50. Why not?
Right. So I love to see it. It's good for the game to have France.
Les Bleus at their best is good for rugby.
Right, and they're pretty fucking good right now.
They look really good, so hopefully they can back it up with another
Dupont.
one.
Did we talk about Antoine Dupont?
He's bloody good. He's slowly inching himself into that elite scrum half conversation in the world. If he's not there yet, he's probably in his own category where it's Dupont, the elite guys that you might consider, and then everybody else is below that.
Yeah, and how Eddie can look across the pitch and see Aldrit, Dupont, and Intimac, your 8, 9, 10 over there, and then how he doesn't turn back and look at his 8, 9, 10
And see problems.
and see big problems.
Yeah, I don't understand.
So
he's named his squad for the weekend. It hasn't changed that much.
Right.
So
I mean, they're right now the way they're playing. There's no 9-10 combination I would take just right now, this exact minute over Dupont and Intimac.
Oh yeah, they played brilliantly, especially after they played amazingly.
Yeah, and
Can't
then
take away from it.
again, not to harp on it, but I'm going to harp on it.
Yeah.
Is there in the Six Nations? Is there a worse combination 9-10 than Young's Ford?
See,
now I'm looking at Italy, but
I would, but you know what? I still like Braley better than I like Young.
And I like Tommaso Allen more than I like Ford.
Yeah, fair enough. And I might even take Kana over. I don't know if I'd take Kana over Ford, even though he played pretty well. But yeah, it's tough. So at the very least, I think it's a mostly universal agreement that Braley is probably better than Young. So there you go.
Right.
That being the tipping point alone probably puts it down there.
I guess ultimately the answer to the question isn't the point. The point is that if you can ask the question and have to think about the answer,
especially with the resources you have,
that's bad. If you're asking, is there a worse combination in 9-10 combination in Six Nations than England's 9-10? What the fuck is Eddie doing?
Something's up. Something's definitely up. Yeah. So the French take care of business. Got to give it to them. And could we see the first Six Nations title go to Paris in 2010? I think was the last one. Yeah. So France 24, England 17. Let's check. Hey, you know what? Because we played fantasy with this one and we enjoyed it so much. Let's check some of the top scorers by position. I know the team of the week has something different, but we have the likes of Nick Tompkins as the top scoring center right now with 31. Yeah, off the bench, not bad.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Because they have George North there.
I know. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
I scratched my head at that one.
Well, you know.
But so I'm going as primary position. Obviously, a lot of these guys can move around. Lee Halfpenny is actually the leading fullback, 29.
Wow.
Fly half. It's a 3-way tie between Intimac, Sexton, and Kana, who's technically a fly half. Obviously, he played center this weekend, but can be deployed and is primarily deployed by his club as a fly half. So good on him. Flanker, give you two guesses at who's leading the flankers.
The French.
Yep. Olivon. 60.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
Hooker, Jamie George, and Julian Marchand from this game we just talked about with 26. Pretty good for Jamie George considering he got yanked early.
Yeah. Well, his throws were shit too.
Yeah, he was off. It was clear.
He's been bad recently.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with that guy. He's been much better in the past.
It's not even that he's been bad for himself, because every player goes through a little bit of a slump.
Fact.
He's been just.
He's not been good.
Bad.
No.
I don't know what's going on there.
Neither do I. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's
the
not.
answer.
I don't like. I hate to see it, and I hate to say it.
Same.
But
Same. As guys that generally play out and out 8, CJ Standers 36 leads the way. Props. It's a Scottish prop. Xander Fagerson 28. Sutherland is right there with 30. Oh wait, no, Sutherland has 35, doesn't he? Yes, he does.
Sutherland
or 30.
30.
30. Excuse me. Sorry, messed that up. Which means I need to go back and look at something. Anyway, so there's that, and then scrum halves, Dupont, duh.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Right.
Second rows, James Ryan and Alan Wins. Shocker of the fucking week. And then
Although Scott Cummings had 35 too.
Yes, also right there. And then wing. Give me a guess who leads that one. The guy that scored a hat trick,
Yeah.
Josh Adams.
And can you believe that there are actually assholes out there who captained him?
Motherfucker, I did. I actually had it, and I was going to change it to Tipperick, which wouldn't have been terrible. He had 36, but yeah, I did 51.
Yeah, not bad.
That'll do. Second in the U.S.
Yeah,
I don't know who the hell's in front of me, but I was like, how am I not first after 1 week? I'm surprised. I'm impressed by the person that's in front of me.
All right, yeah, I'm seventh, so I'll take it, and I'm not that far off the lead. So
no, you're probably not.
I'll take it. Well,
I'm 8 points back. That's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
What did he do the different that I did? Oh wait.
Dupont.
Interesting. Yeah, good choice.
He had a really good squad there.
Good choice.
Aside from his props, everybody kicked ass for him.
Yep.
And Stockdale.
Yeah, Stockdale wasn't great. I had Larmer on the bench, and I had Stockdale on my team. I should have played Stockdale. I did play Jake Pelledri, though. I felt good about that.
So did I. Played Pelledri, Stain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Intimac played well. Fico didn't play bad, actually. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. So, moving on. Never mind. Moving on. Super Rugby. Hello, Super Rugby.
What an opening weekend.
What an opening match.
Well,
Blues Chiefs. Blues 29, Chiefs 37. Wow.
I liked what I saw.
Out of both teams, absolutely.
Out of both teams. Well,
absolutely.
You were as a longtime Chiefs fan.
As a Chiefs fan, yeah, as a 3-year, 2-year, 3-year, 2-year, second year Chiefs fan. But yeah, I mean, what's not to like? And I mean, we have to talk about the halftime switches that came about and really made a huge difference. The first one was Sam Cane coming off hitting his quote unquote quota.
Yeah.
But Soakula made a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Why Aaron Cruden didn't start the match, I have no idea. But I think Warren Gatlin would prefer to go back to that route the first time and not have squeaky bum time at the end.
It might be nice. But and then there's one other.
What?
Who came on? ALB.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I knew he was going to make an impact off the bench. Can we talk about the first try score of Super Rugby in this season?
The Yank,
the American Tony Lamborn,
born and bred Yank. Not at all.
Kind of, sort of.
Shut up.
Eligible through his parents or his grandparents.
Probably.
I don't know which one. But hey, listen, we'll take him. Listen, this is his first season in Super Rugby. Mm-hmm. For him to get the first try of the season is, I'm super happy for the guy. Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
It's good for USA Rugby. It's good for him.
Yeah, love it. We don't have. I think he's the only American that's playing Super Rugby right now. So yes, let's ride that as hard as we can, baby.
Well, Ardron. But that's Canadian.
He's a Canuck, yeah. Different.
Still American. Yeah. Just a different kind of American.
So, yeah, it was a fantastic game, 29-37. Cruden made immediate impact. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the Blues don't look too bad either. So
No, those two teams,
keep them,
I would not
keep them on your radar.
Yeah, those are teams to watch. Mm-hmm. And if they're playing against your team,
don't go to sleep. Yeah, definitely.
Wear your brown pants that game.
Bring me your brown pants.
Yeah, it's because what I love to see, especially after the I mean, well, not after, it was a prelude to, but mm-hmm. if you want to contrast Blues Chiefs with, say, Ireland, Scotland.
Yeah.
And you look at the Blues and the Chiefs both just going like toe-to-toe, heavyweight boxers in the middle of the ring, just throwing haymakers at each other. Like, I can do this. Can you stay with me? And just not, we're not going to fucking box kick you to death and try to pound it over the line. We're going to try to just break your line and then speed right past you for tries. This is the kind of rugby you love to see, mm-hmm. and it's
this is the stuff I first started watching.
To me, there's too many coaches who are in the Northern Hemisphere who are just too scared to play like this.
Probably a little bit. But you see the immediate impact of some of the coaches that go from the Southern Hemisphere to the Northern Hemisphere. Mm-hmm. Pat Lam, Chris Boyd being the two big ones that come to my brain right away. Lamb is. I feel like he's struggling a little bit more this year for some reason. We'll see how
because there's still that. I think there's a little bit of regression. I think there's a little bit of this isn't. I think he's kind of buying into the Northern Hemisphere style a little bit.
Don't do it, Pat. Don't do it.
Right. He's got to stay strong.
Don't let him fool you. The Alamala try. Woo, woo. I was like, did he? He did.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Athleticism.
Right. Just
that's freak athleticism right there.
Placing it down just before he slides out.
Yep.
Just perfect
and
accuracy.
He's got dudes coming to get him too, so it's like, I gotta go.
There's a lot going on there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We all know what Huggy would have done there, so
yeah. So Blues 29, Chiefs 37. Chiefs off to a good start. The Aussie derby that was on Friday, Brumbies Reds, also very entertaining. Lots to talk about. Henry Spate going against his old team right away. I don't know who scheduled that, but I bet you he goes, all right, whatever.
I'm good.
And he gets he becomes one of the few people that have scored a try against every Super Rugby franchise as he scores against his old club.
Yeah.
So good on Henry Spade. He's a fantastic player. Too bad he didn't get picked enough as an international, but he knows what the try line is. So good on him. Like I said, 27-24, Brumbies win. But it was I was impressed with the young fly half. The hell's his name? Loa Lolesio. Yep, Noah Lolesio. Yep, he played pretty well. Isaac Lucas played pretty well as well for the Reds. So a couple of youngins playing themselves right into the eyes of Dave Rennie, possibly.
Possibly.
So we'll see. I mean, there's no Barnard Foley. There's no Christian Lealiafano. Somebody needs to take that role.
Step up and be
Matt Tamu is still around, but so if you consider him the incumbent, then you got a lot of roles to fill after that.
Yeah, well, if none of them really step into it, then Curly Beale's going to end up doing it.
Terrifying, simply terrifying. If I am an Australian rugby fan, I am hoping to God there is somebody else that steps up besides him.
Right.
He's fine at midfield. He's not awful at fullback, at least not club level, but just. Yeah, no, I'm hoping it's somebody else. That's for sure.
And I'm not saying I know anything there. I'm just saying that fuck it. It seems like Australia is like, oh, we don't have somebody here. All right, we'll put Curly Beale there.
Seems to be. James O'Connor played pretty well. I mean, we talked about his enormous comeback from obviously as he started out real young and got a little too much of the spotlight when he was real young, and it got to his head. Went away. Has come back and righted the ship and seems to have figured out how to get this done as a professional. So I give him loads and loads of credit for that one. So good on him. The two young scrum halves going at it as well, Joe Powell and Tate McDermott. There's no Will Guinea, there's no Nick Phipps. So that's up for grabs.
It is.
That's definitely up for grabs. That nine shirt come this summer. So
as long as they can outplay Curly Beale there.
Oh man! But this was a brilliant match. Lot of good stuff coming through. I was obviously Haggerty was Haggerty. He's a machine. Good. He's a machine. So loads of credit to him and the Reds for stepping up, but not enough.
Nope,
not enough. And the Brumbies take it home. And then let's keep going a little bit further west and to the South African derby, Sharks Bulls. That was also not bad. This was not to the same entertainment level, but it was still very good.
Yeah, it was excellent. And it's the entertainment level is kind of lessened when there's a lot of players who just don't care for the ball.
Just chuck it around.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder why some of the centers, the midfielders for these clubs were still available later in the draft.
Figured that one out.
Now I'm figuring that out because they just kind of throw the ball where they feel like throwing the ball. Like that French we were talking about. There might be somebody there. Fuck it, I'll throw it there. Or they'll just drop it for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I want to mention because again the coach in me came out with Mornay Stein, his tackle on Fossey in the open field.
He's good.
Fossey's got the wheels. He's broken the line. He's gone. And there's Stein back there who had kind of went back to cover. I think it was because he had kicked it, so he went back to cover fullback, and lines him up and just waits on him. And Fossey, instead of avoiding him, just runs a straight line, and Stain's like, okay, here comes the shoulder, and
Pop.
levels him, just cleans him out, and
that hurts.
The tack, it was one of those. I was scared at first that it was going to be a serious red card dump tackle because Fossey's legs went flying up, but Stein didn't lift him. He just hit him
right. He hit him right in the
midsection,
chest. Yeah.
and a little
decleated him,
and just went.
Yeah,
parallel and down to the ground.
Yeah, we call that a decleater around here. That looked like it hurt.
Nothing but snot bubbles.
Big time. Snorted.
And then Stein's boot. I mean, just the little flicks he's given inside his own 22.
He's got such a strong leg. He does not need to do a freaking thing to send that thing a mile.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Bulls have something going there. Obviously, they didn't get the result this weekend. Sharks win 23-15, but the Bulls could be on the return a little bit. They obviously have some great pieces in the likes of Haaland, Kendrick, Speckman, and then you look at their pack with Strauss, Andre Cougar returning, Bisagi, the two props, Goboka and Kanya. So they got a lot to feel good about. They just got to put it together.
Yeah.
So good on them. And Morostain can hit drop goals, which is not something that a lot of people can do these days. So just it's a weapon. It's a weapon, and I do want to just give a shout out to the quick little scrum half, Sonali Nohamba from the Sharks. He scooted in for that last try that clinched the deal. I was like, damn, he is quick. My eyes popped out. I was like, oh, this guy's kind of fast.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lou Schroeder, your shirt might be in trouble. Just if this guy can, a little Herschel Yanchi's F thing might be going on here. Kid look good as long as he can give good service. It's gonna be it's gonna be a battle for that 9 shirt.
Yes, it is.
So good on this kid. And then the match that started on Friday and ended on Saturday for us. Sunwolves and Rebels.
Oh, right.
Sunwolves with a huge result, 36-27.
They are. That was surprising.
They played some good
A
stuff.
team that's only been together for 4 weeks playing like that.
Garth April, take a bow.
Yes,
take
sir.
a bow, sir. He was like 4th banana in the Sharks system, and he says, screw it, I'm going to go play 1 season and get a shot and just get some playing time and see what I can do. And, well, I think he's going to be playing in Super Rugby next year, even if the Sunwolves aren't.
Right.
So, especially if he keeps that up. I mean, it's 1 game. I don't want to make too much of it, but, man, kid looked good.
He did.
He looked really good. And then Ben Teo. Hi, Ben Teo. There he is again.
Yeah.
He's
I remember
resurfaced.
you.
Hello. I remember you.
And Fafita he
Yeah.
acquitted himself pretty well,
He was
too.
great. He was great. Good
yeah.
stuff.
All around. And Moria with the opening try to really set the tone was that was big.
That was less than 10 minutes in against a team that was scoring tries for fun last year at many points.
Yeah, this is like that. This isn't something to bat an eye at and say, oh, this is just opening week jitters. No, Rebels are a good squad.
That's a very good team over there.
And the Sunwolves just came out to play, and they played very good rugby. This was just like the Blues and Chiefs leading it off. This was an excellent display of rugby by both squads.
Yeah. They're just the Georgian hooker Jabba. I mean, you can't have a better name than Jabba as a hooker. Come on. But yeah, he played he's obviously a good professional for them to have as well, for them to lean on. Andrew Kellaway on the other side for the Rebels, he looked like he was going to take it every time he touched it.
Yes,
Once he got that corner, he looked like he was going. He eventually got one, but he definitely looked like he was going to cause some damage. So I would keep my eyes peeled for this kid. He's going to do some damage. I like it. Matt Tumua wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. There were a lot of parts that could have been a lot better, and I'm sure the Rebels are going to be kicking themselves for letting this one go. They definitely came out slow.
Right.
Didn't help them.
Yeah, and the travel doesn't help.
No.
And so the Sunwolves are going to get that benefit when they have home games. So it's one of these you can't just. They're announcing that you cannot go to sleep on the Sunwolves. You can't say, yeah, we're traveling, whatever. We can still walk away with 4 or 5 points.
Yeah, they weren't.
Not going to happen.
Were they in Fukuoka? Is that where they were this weekend? They were someplace. They were in one of the big ones.
I don't know where exactly they were.
Yeah, they were in one of the big stadiums that they used at the World Cup.
Level 5 stadium. I'm not sure where that is.
Okay. Well, that was they were in one of the big ones. I remember that. But either way, Sunwolves 36, Rebels 27. So do not sleep on the Sunwolves. When you go to Japan, bring a good team, because they're obviously a little chaffed, and they're going to go out with a bang at the very least.
I hope that's it. I hope they can reverse that. But it might be too
you
late.
can only hope. Let's go to the games that started on Saturday and on Saturday. Crusaders 43, Waratahs 25. This actually got interesting to a point when, and I'm going to do my goddamn best to say this kid's name because shit, he's good, and we're going to have to learn how to pronounce it because we're going to say it a lot. Mark Nawakaniwasi. Oh my goodness. I hope I didn't butcher it. I'll get it right eventually.
Nawakatanasi?
Yeah, something like that. But he
No,
looked
there's a lot. There's a double. Fuck.
Yeah,
fucked it
good
up.
luck. Anyway, he looked athletic. Finished the first time. Second time he intercepted it and went and took it home. Brilliant either way. Young, needs to obviously grow a little bit, but very good. Very good nonetheless. Give him credit. And, on the other side, Richie Mwanga coming off, no problem. David Havili, step up, take a bow, kid, because the dude, I think he scored a good chunk of at least half these points here that are sitting on this board for 43. Well, as soon as he started taking kicks, I'm like, Mwanga can't be right if he's taking kicks.
Yeah.
End of story, because Mwanga's a decent goal kicker. So I imagine that
You could say that.
I was like, I think this is bad news for them. Braden Enor picks up where he left off last year. Will Jordan picks up where he left off last year. And then Lester Fainga Anuku. Oh my Lord. This dude is huge to be playing a wing.
Sizable.
My God. I do not want to be a wing playing against this dude. He is gigantic. So, I mean, Crusaders are turning out more products. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Guys leave, and it's just like, let's just reset.
Yeah.
Reload. No big deal. Cody Taylor didn't even start this game.
Or Severis.
Yeah, Makalio didn't look great in the first half, so Cody Taylor came on at halftime. Brett Cameron sufficed in service when Mwanga came off. I think he just knew, I don't need to carry this ball a whole lot. I'm just going to get it to these guys and let them do the damage.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
That works. Wait, 10 just being a distributor?
Oh, hey, how about that?
What the fuck?
Novel concept, I know.
But they must have lost, right?
43-25, Crusaders win over the Waratahs. Don't let the scoreline fool you. Waratahs did fight back in this match, and
they did.
Made it interesting.
I didn't get around to watching the second half, but I watched the first half, and I was like, yeah, this game's over. So credit to the Taz for gutting it out.
Showing a little fight.
Yeah,
good on them. And then over to South Africa. Oh man, I am on behalf of as a Hurricanes fan for the days of like Jerry Collins and Tanu Umaga. Anybody that watched this match and was hoping for something good, I am so sorry. This Hurricanes team played like absolute shit.
They did not play well.
They played like garbage, and they're going to have to find a better answer at 10 because neither one of these guys look good. And I'll say I didn't watch a ton of the second half, but
yeah, I didn't. This is another similar thing where I didn't watch the second half.
Well, because the Six Nations came on and they were getting thumped, so I was like, I want to be happy, and I'm not going to be happy if I watch the rest of this match.
Let's watch Ireland, Scotland. That'll be happy.
Listen, I don't give a shit about them, so at least I wasn't sad.
Right.
So.
Oh no, that was Italy Wales was the first one. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go. So, even better. Yanchis is picking up where he left off. Yanchis.
Holy, yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah, he's good to rock. Plug him in, man.
There's a thing that it's kind of a big deal in the NFL. You hear the sophomore slump. I'm not sure if that's something that has translated.
I don't know if it's going to exist on him. Shoot.
It certainly doesn't exist on him.
Didn't look like it.
Yeah.
Good on him. He's man, this kid's going to be electric for years to come.
He is.
Good on him. Willem still played really well. No surprise.
Right.
I really don't. Karifi was trying his ass off and made what little impact he could. Mm-hmm. Really, he was the only guy that I could say that about. There's no Cody Taylor in this. Obviously, they're still trying to figure out their 10 situation. There's a lot. This could be a year you don't see the Hurricanes in that home wild card spot that they've been in for the last couple of years. If they sneak into the playoffs, maybe. I don't think you're going to see them in that spot at the very least. So unless they really shake it loose and TJ drives them on and kicks them, it's going to have to be TJ firing a rocket up their ass.
Yeah, at some point you got it. I mean, I know that's not his natural position, obviously, but his brother did all right with there. Do you move Jordy to 10? Can you?
I'm
do that?
sure he's thought about it already. I'm sure it's been thought about long time ago.
Because otherwise, you've got a serious 11 through 15, absolutely deadly. But without a 10 being that hinge,
it's gonna be
at some point you might want to say, yeah, Jordy, you might not be your best at 10. But it's still better than anyone else we got.
We're better with you there. So,
right.
I don't know.
I don't know
who's
what
gonna
else
make that decision, but
yeah.
man, it's gonna be tough. And I know, they have the likes of Kyle Spencer to possibly make that decision for them, which would be good. But there's a lot to figure out with that one because it's gonna be Jason Holland's got a big task in front of him. He kind of got the job a little late because. When Fozzie got the job, then they called in Plumtree, so it can kind of throw you off, and it's clearly done something to them.
Have you seen any update on Sia Khaleesi, by the way?
I think it was grade 1 MCL.
Oh.
A comment on them. Like South Africa commentators are such fucking homers. They need to
bit.
calm the fuck down. That was they kept watching the replay of the Khaleesi hit. I think it was Karifi that got him.
There's nothing in it.
It wasn't like watch it live. It was not that late. They kept watching it in slow mo. Like, oh, that's late. I'm like, no shit, it's late. You're watching it in slow mo replay. You dumb.
Right.
Like, use your brain and watch it live. It was like he was committed. He was in. He didn't actually like go for the knees. I think he just stumbled.
Right.
But anyway, just shut the fuck up, yourself as you freaking idiots. Anyway, Stormers win 27. They blanked the Hurricanes, rightfully so. Hurricanes did not play very well, and they did not bring their best squad by any means whatsoever. So good on the Stormers for taking care of business. There are good players on the Stormers. I'm happy to see get the victory on that one. So let that be said. And then to the last match of the weekend. Jaguars picking up right where they left off, 38-8. I mean, obviously they didn't do well in the final, but they are defending home at the very least very well. So got to give them that.
Right, and they, bringing back pretty much the same squad.
Yeah, Bonilla left this game early, I think, which was not great, but
No.
it seemed that Miotti just plug and play, no big deal.
Yeah, and again, similar. They have the horses 1 through 23 to kind of cover for that if they need to bring somebody out early.
Seems it. So I'd be this. You might see them back in the final.
You might,
and it'd be, you know what? They may even host it. Although it's going to be damn hard for them to top the Crusaders.
Yeah,
Crusaders will stumble at some point. If they don't stumble,
look, I
that'll
think,
be crazy.
I think you're going to see a little bit of a shift in the landscape in New Zealand. I mean, not that it's not long term, but I think if what we saw with Blues Chiefs is reality, if that's the way those two teams are going to play, they're gonna give Crusaders enough
make some noise.
of a game that's gonna
I believe it.
could knock them down 1 or 2 slots. I mean, there's nothing that would stop either of those teams or both of those teams from beating Crusaders, which could make a huge difference.
Yeah, they play like that, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think it's not that the Crusaders are vulnerable. It's that there's other teams that have now, I think, elevated. At least it seems like there's teams that have elevated their games to a point where they could be serious contenders against them.
Yeah, Kiwi Conference is strong again,
and that could change the whole landscape of the playoffs, and it could help the Jaguares.
Yeah, I mean, for them to be able to potentially host the final would be immense.
It'd be massive
for the country, for rugby in the country.
Could you imagine that match?
I think it'd be wild.
Could you imagine the just the atmosphere of that game?
Oh, they love that. They love that team.
The crowd,
they love that team, and they're into it. They're into it the whole match, pretty much. So I think it'd be fun.
I'm kind of rooting for that.
Yeah, be kind of fun.
Now that I've thought about it,
now that we've given that some thought,
you're talking me into it. Thank you.
So yeah, Jaguars down the Lions. Not a whole lot to like. A lot of change from the Lions. A lot of change from the Lions. A lot of turnover.
And not the change that needed to be made.
No, unfortunately.
Because Elton Yankees is still
their 10. Not great. Not great. Yeah, no Malcolm Marks, no Faf. Obviously, it's going to be an uphill battle for them. 38-8 for the Jaguares. Lions are going to go lick their wounds and go back to Joburg as they play this weekend. Yeah, there was that. Notable scores: Willemse scored 33 this weekend. Sunwolves front row scored 19. Holy shit! Can I say that? Holy shit!
Yeah.
For those that are playing with Ben and I in the 15-player lineup, the Chiefs now starting hooker because Nathan Harris is hurt. I've pronounced too many hard names today, so I'm not going to give this one a shot. His first name's Samasoni, so you can go with that one. 19.1 from him as a hooker.
Wow.
And when we do start sits on both either here or on Twitter, just assume that anybody that's got a pulse and is starting is viable unless they're really shown that they're shit.
Right.
Or unless the team's shown that they don't give up much against them. So locks, hookers, props, viable options unless they've either shown they're really, really good or they're garbage.
Right.
After that, it's a crapshoot. Good luck.
And even if they've shown that they're really, really good, you could still end up with like a -5 at some point.
Easily.
So
easily.
It's yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fun one to play. Have fun. Hoskins Tutu for the Blues, loose forward. Not Akira Ioane. He didn't start. I was surprised, but this guy proved everybody wrong. No big deal. Locks. Dunshea ended up being the top lock. Goodhue along with never mind. Braden Ennar, the other Crusader center was the top midfielder, and then surprise, David Havili was the top outside back. No shocker there.
No,
after he scored, I ran to that buzzsaw. 50 points.
Yikes!
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, I'm losing. I saw that. I was like, I have so lost.
Was that in our 15 league, or was this in the?
I think it was in the second. I think it was in the second one where we just had the front row group.
Did you go against George? Because I know he.
Nope.
He brought the heat.
He brought the noise. Huh?
I was disappointed in myself. I'm not disappointed so much as I think I was the highest scoring losing team of the week.
In which league? The second one?
In the second league.
And the group front row one?
I had 104 and lost to School of Shark, who had 108.
Oh, man. That's a tough one. That's a tough loss.
Yeah, a 4-point loss. I was
Eek. All right.
displeased.
Yeah, I don't blame you. All right. Start sit. Six Nations.
Six Nations. Ireland, Wales. I think that means I'm up because I think I did those.
William Monsignor.
All right. This is going to be one of those where, especially in Six Nations, you don't worry about the matchup so much. You don't really get a chance to figure out the matchups. It's just, here's who's going to do well for these teams.
Here's the guys that are going to probably score you a lot of points.
Right. So on the Irish side, Ty Furlong has been their higher scoring prop from the tight head. Odd, but go with it.
It works.
And the locks, Ian Henderson, Ryan, go with them. Mm-hmm. Van der Fleer and Stander, the 7 and 8, start them. Murray always, and Larmer. For your sits, Herring, I'm not sure how that pairing's going to work out.
I don't know how. He didn't do well last game, and I didn't think you would.
No, so. and Wales have a decent line out defense, so I keep Herring off your team. O'Mahony, I don't think is going to do so hot as far as fantasy points. Yeah. Same with Sexton and Conway. I don't see them scoring a lot against Wales. For Wales, you can't not start Alan Wynn. I made that mistake.
I have him.
He didn't even make my bench, and I am mad at me.
You say you kicked your butt on that one, didn't
you? Yeah. Wainwright, Tipperick, Thomas Williams. I think he's gonna see some space again.
Probably.
And have some more opportunities. Hopefully he can learn from his mistakes and take advantage.
Agreed.
It goes without saying, start Josh Adams, Nick Tompkins, George North. Those are guys you want on your squad because Tompkins seems to find the try zone whenever he plays.
It seems to.
Sit the other hooker, Ken Owens, and sit Dan Bigger because 10s, I think, against Ireland, especially the way they're playing.
It's gonna be a lot of kicking. Not that that's bad for a bit Dan Bigger, but
get
there's
some
not gonna
points,
be a lot of attack.
but not what you really want from a 10.
Yeah, you want somebody that's gonna get you 30 plus in this situation.
And I really think that Ireland's gonna put the screws to Lee Halfpenny and hold him to a low scoring game. So sit him.
Better hope Sanjay's healthy. Calcutta Cup, take 3.
But they're not playing it in Calcutta.
Or at least 3 in like the last couple of years here. This will be an interesting one, how this goes, especially since Scotland still holds the Calcutta Cup. Can they do it for a third year? We'll get into that when we do pick them. But for Scotland, Johnny Gray is a tackling machine. Go ahead and start him. Hamish Watson. Hastings actually is still a decent start. Hogg, I said he was a sit of the week, and I ate my words on that one. I'm not making that mistake again. Fagerson or Sutherland, either one's fine. Jamie Ritchie's pretty good. Sam Johnson, if you have to, and he's a pinch. If Ali Price is your scrum half, you could do worse. Kinghorn is the one wing that I would play out of these guys. I would sit Maitland. Sean, if McNally's the hooker, play him. If Fraser Brown's the hooker, sit him. So there's that. On the England side, Johnny May, you can't sit him. Simple as that. You can't sit him. He knows what the try line is. He's finding it. Despite all our shitting on him, he's actually still a decent fantasy option. George Ford, play him. Mario Itoje, Jamie George are almost always good fantasy options. A la George Ford, Ben Youngs, again, he's still a decent fantasy option. Just not going to be the one I pick, that's for sure. Courtney Laws, Underhill, startable. Owen Farrell only at 10. If he's at 12, fucking sit him.
Yep.
And change your kicker too. Jeez him.
Yes.
Thankfully, the only thing that he was good for was the few kicks that he made.
Agreed.
Sit. If Curry's here playing at 8, sit him. Mako Sinclair and Elliot Daly are probably sits this week too. Scotland do pretty well against props, and they've done well over the last couple international competitions as well. So sit them.
Did you mention Johnny May as a start?
No, he's a start.
Okay, good.
He's
Just making
definitively a start.
I missed his name somehow.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't.
Yeah, no, he's gonna score a try. France versus Italy. This basically start France. So Marchand, Poirot, Bamba. I think all three will start. Leroux, Carl, Olivon, Aldrit,
Yep.
Dupont, Ntamak, Rates, Vakatawa, Thomas.
Rates.
Start all of them. The only sit I have on France at the moment is Fiku, because I think he's going to get bypassed in terms of the ball. He's going to do the open up the space for everyone else. For Italy, Bigi, I don't see how he's an excellent play if you want to avoid using.
You need Italians in your team.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to say Canone again.
He did really well.
I'm going to ride him because he impressed me. I heard good things going in, which is why I had him starting last week. So I'm rolling with that again. Pelledri, Stain, Braley, Tomato, Bellini, Kana, Minozzi.
Nice.
As far as sits, again, Sebastian Negri.
Yeah.
Don't touch him. Bait.
He is bait.
Morisi and Sarto.
Yep. Agreed. Start of the week. Six Nations. From Scotland, Hamish Watson.
There you go. And mine is the aforementioned Johnny May.
Johnny May. It's a good one. Sit of the week. Six Nations. Kyle Sinclair.
Oh, my.
Props don't do well against Scotland. He did not do well last game.
No, he did not.
So I'm going to go ahead and go with the odds and say amongst one of the most popular picked props, put him on your bench or put him in the stands.
There you go. I just realized that my sit of the week was the same as last week, so I got to change that real quick. So
un momento.
After pondering that in my head for a little bit, I'm going to go with Johnny Sexton.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so Super Rugby starts sits. I get the Highlanders' first match of the year. The easy ones are Frizzell, Aaron Smith, Josh Ioane, Josh Mackay. They've released their lineup, assuming they're all in. Go ahead and start them. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. Tompkinson, Walden, their front row, Lynchus, and Peretti are sits for me. For the Sharks, I made the mistake of saying Afele Fossey's a sit. I'm not doing that twice. You look really good. Sharks front row, Mac Mapimpi, Bosch, Nkosi, Esther Hazen are all starts. Schroeder, Hiron Andrews, and Lucanio Am are sits.
Really? Am is a sit?
He had like a 0.1.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He was everywhere, though. That's the weird...
It's
again,
how fantasy works, man. I don't make that shit up. Not my fault.
So Brumbies, Rebels. Rebels, just watching their game against the Sunwolves, it seems that they're vulnerable out wide. So for the Brumbies, start Lolesio, Kuridrani, Wright, Banks, and sit the Brumbies front row.
Give
Powell,
me some Tom Banks, baby.
Cusack, and Kata.
Ooh.
For the Rebels, start their front row. Matt Phillip, Nasarani, Lomani, Tumua, Corabetti, Meeks, Hodge, Callaway, Haylett Petty.
Yeah, Callaway.
And sit Leota and Cottrell.
Yeah. Oh, Cottrell. Yeah, he's definitely bait. He's definitely bait.
Yes.
You see him and you're like, he's part of the Rebels.
Yeah.
He plays in the loose.
Stop.
Nope. Slap that hand away.
I almost just smacked. Jared's like reaching for him, and I almost smacked his hand.
No. Ow. Shit. All right. The other another New Zealand derby for the Chiefs. It still should make for some pretty good scoring, just the same. Cruden, Alamalo are definitely starts, assuming they are starting.
Yeah.
Come on, Gatlin, get with the program here. The hooker, whose name I didn't try to pronounce, definitely play him if he's playing, because it's so rare to find a good scoring hooker. You might as well ride it while you can. Lachlan Bashir played his brains out for them. Start him. Chiefs front row, ALB. Tapia, very good last week. If he starts, especially if he's starting next to Anton Leonard-Brown, play him. Sean Stevenson, Soakula, awesome. He was in a half. Some of these guys did their damage in a half. Remember that. So if they start, fucking play them. I don't care if it's a Crusaders.
Right.
And then Sam Kane and Nankiville are your sits for the Chiefs. And then Crusaders, it's pretty much if it's a Crusader, play them. Havili, Will Jordan, Enor, Fainganuku, Goodhue, Dunshea, Drummond, Reese, and Banks, whichever one ends up being the odd man out or not the odd man out. Crusaders front row, go for it. Brett Cameron, if he ends up playing, is the only guy I would sit because he might play for Mo'unga.
Waratahs Blues. Shit, I'm going to have to say the name. All right. So for the Taz, start their front row. Michael Hooper, Jed Holloway, Jake Gordon, Foketi, Harrison, Nawakanatawasi.
There you go.
And Newsom. For the Taz, sit Kurtley Beale unless he's at fly half or scrum half. He should not be an outside back. Swinton and Hunt. The key to Hunt here is that he is an outside. He's listed as an outside back, but plays midfield. So you're just killing yourself with points if you got Hunt.
Yeah.
For the Blues, start their front row. Tony Lamborn, obviously.
Yeah.
Satutu, Ruru, Bowden Barrett, Fayani, Marchant, Talea,
Yes.
Duffy. Sit Rico Ioane, Terry Black, and Papaili.
Yeah. Until Bowden Barrett comes back in 5 weeks or something like that. Yeah. Sorry, the halfbacks aren't going to get it done for the Blues.
So I'm hoping that if Bowden plays, yes, but I'm guessing he's not. So
guessing he's not.
Don't start Black if he's playing.
Yeah, please no. Or Harry Plummer, really.
Right.
If you're desperate for Harry Plummer, find another option.
Yeah.
So for the Lions Reds, unfortunately, the last match for the Lions didn't leave a whole lot to be desired. Marnus Skuman was the biggest thing that came away from that for me. Thankfully, I have him in one of our leagues. Lions front row is probably still a decent option until they really get proven otherwise. That's a tough environment to go into in Argentina too. Let's just be real. Guys that you probably burned high picks on, you got to play them. Skosan and Yanchis Kotsia. Similani if you have them. Guys that you can probably get away from: Tyrone Green, Russ Cronje, Brink, Deo Amani, out. Reds played some good stuff despite going down. Harry Wilson, Bryce Hegarty, Spate, James O'Connor, Isaac Lucas, Tate McDermott, Pataya. That's a lot of young talent in that Reds backline, and it's all really good. Right. Lukan Salakai Loto plays second row, and he's listed as a loose forward, so that is terrifying. So don't play him.
And Stormers versus Bulls.
Slugfest number 2.
Right. For the Stormers, start their front row. Jaco Kotze, Pierre-Steph Dutoit, Herschel Yankees, obviously. Dimian Willemse. Segerel Peterson did a very good job. He collected that nice cross.
Yankees kick. Yeah, that was brilliant.
So, for the Stormers, sit Khaleesi. I'm guessing he's not going to play anyway,
I think he's probably not playing.
Either way, I would have put him on the pine, just because he'll probably have a recovery day or week anyway. But looks like it's out for more than that. And Sinatla.
Yeah, there's something about him just didn't quite click for them.
For the Bulls, start Josh Strauss, Mornay Stein, Warwick Gallant, and my autocorrect kicked in when I made this note to Roscoe Specimen.
Specimen.
While that's accurate, it's Speckman. Because I actually I think he's going to have, I think, a little bit of a bounce back game. He did not play well this past week.
Nope.
I think he's going to be a little angry about that.
Yeah, he got bottled up by that Sharks back.
Yeah. So and he fucked himself a couple times. So I think he's going to have to get his head right and come out and put on a show. For the Bulls, sit their front row. Coates and Odendahl. That center pairing doesn't seem to have settled in quite yet. So
and I think JB Coetzee is listed as an outside back, which is
then
really
definitely
scary.
no,
really scary.
Yeah,
I was like, I think I remember seeing that and being like, "Ew, I will never touch that. No, thank you."
Yeah, I didn't notice that, but that's even more reason.
That's like the really ugly drunk chick at a party. Even when you're drunk, you're like, "Nope, nope." All right, Jaguars and Hurricanes. Oh man, this is going to be very painful for me. What did I do?
I'm just.
Let's say, what did I do now? If I did something, just tell me. Jags and Hurricanes. Jags started hot. I don't see why they're going to fall back. Maroney, Miotti, or Brenia, you can play either one. Buffelli, Carreras, Cruz Malia, their front row. Montoya actually played really well as a hooker and scored really well. So there's so few of them that score well. Ride it. Ride it while he's up there. Francisco Gorison, who was the one flanker that actually did something for the Jaguars, and it was not Kramer or any of those other guys that are out there. So good on him. He scored really well last week's play. you could play Kramer. I guess it wouldn't be that big a deal if you really needed to. Ortega, Decio, Delgey, Kubeli are your sits for the Jags. I'm hoping that the Hurricanes have had a rocket fired up their backside and play a little bit better. Karifi was the one standout from their last game, so go ahead and roll them out. If Booth plays as a 9, maybe TJ gets a little bit of punishment. He actually played really well, so you can go ahead and roll him out there too. Gareth Evans, probably worth a look at least. TJ, Lamb, Lamape, Jordy, play him. You wasted a pick too high to not play him at this point. You're only in round 2. This was round like 10. Okay, I understand. You now know who you're good and your bads. Sit. Hurricanes front row. Either fly half. Get away from that. Get away. Find something else. Really go to Harry Plummer if you're playing those guys. Honestly,
that's just
because he's at least Harry Plummer's back in New Zealand. He's not in Argentina. And then Wes Houston set. Was a bit sheepish. I couldn't say it too loud. Yeah, and I have him. So
yeah, didn't you name your team after him too?
Yep, Dr. Cousin. Super Rugby star of the week.
I'm going with just a guy who lit it up and will continue to light it up. Damian Valemsa.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like him. I'm sad he didn't get to play a ton for the Saracens. My pick of the week. Start of the week for Super Rugby is Joe Marchant from the Blues.
I think I have him in both our leagues.
Yeah, he's for whatever reason they were a little leaky in the middle there.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe they were just thinking about attack too much or whatever. But so that's the one spot that they gave up a few points at midfield. So I'm gonna go Joe Marchant for my start of the week.
And my sit of the week is someone I previously mentioned, especially given the overall conditions that he's an outside back playing at midfield. Carmichael Hunt. Is my sit of the week.
Yeah, it's terrifying. He actually did okay for me last week. I was in a pinch. I think I was missing both my midfielders, so I was like, I am so screwed. So I went to, but I did go to that. It didn't do too bad for me.
No,
but I don't think it's going to be something that you want to go to every time.
Negative.
Or not both both. I had 2 outside backs. Sorry for sitting. Duh. We just talked about being an outside back. Yeah, my sit of the week is actually a guy you were talking up, Roscoe Speckman. I don't know if he still got it.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly valid. I think he really didn't acquit himself very well last week, and he's one of 2 options. One where
amazing
he follows up and goes off. And the other, what you're expecting.
Another tank. And Stormers contained the back 3, a talented back 3 at that for the Hurricanes. Granted, they didn't play at all well, but still, that's a lot to contain right there between Houston, Lamb, Jordy. Yeah, there's a lot to contain.
I'm the only consideration I have there is that I think Mornay Stein is going to open up their defense a little bit because they have to watch the boot. So
that's true.
That's going to unlock it a little bit, but still, Speckman had his opportunities last week and
didn't take them.
Pooped on them. So I agree with your sit of the week there.
Yeah. All right, pick him and we're out. Right. Don't lose it. Fucking ADs.
Good.
Ireland, Wales.
Ireland, Wales. I know it's in Ireland.
Yeah, I know, and you're right. And that's.
I gotta see something from Ireland.
At least Ireland doesn't have Joe Schmidt to tell him to close or keep the roof open this time. Scotland, England up at Murrayfield. What is gonna happen here, baby? Because this is Scotland have retained the Calcutta Cup for their 2nd year, and let's see if they can do it for 3 years in a row.
And one of my notes from France England was, when did England turn into Ireland and Scotland? So this is not an English team. Depending on who Eddie picks, which it doesn't look like he's going to deviate.
He's going
to
deviate a ton from it. I said they were going to have to get tonked for him to even shake the cobwebs and think about, I might need to change something here, and they didn't.
The pod noticed that that Ben Youngs is sitting on 96 caps, I think it is, or 90.
So they're gonna try and shove him to 100.
So so he has to play every game match.
Welcome to 5th place, Eddie. Welcome to 5th place, and that's a bit of a knock on Italy, but yeah, you're gonna be at the bottom next to Italy. Good luck.
Yeah.
And he's done. This will be the 2nd time he does it. Does Eddie survive the 6 Nations?
Oh, he finished his Six Nations, but that's it.
Is that it?
That's got to be it.
He doesn't make the summer tour or anything like that.
I can't. How? Why?
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing.
No, I know you're not. But I'm just like, he shouldn't have made it this far. That should have been at the end at the World Cup. Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, you did good. We got to a final, which is something that's really hard to do, but
Right.
You done gone and blown it.
But yeah, there's too much. Too many head games, too much wanting control, and he would make an excellent football coach.
That's a terrifying thought.
That's not what rugby is. Rugby isn't you do what I tell you to do. I make the decisions for you, and he tries that too much. No.
Nope.
So I'm going with Scotland this match.
Okay. Shit.
At some point, I think the players are going to start to.
I'm gonna find a kilt and let's go Scotland. James is gonna be so pissed at us. Sorry, James. Sorry, anybody else that I know that's an English fan that they didn't make me believe at all. Back to Paris, France, Italy, France.
Allez les Bleus!
Yeah, fear the rooster. All right, back to Super Rugby. Highlanders open the week and open their season against the Sharks down at we'll see. I wonder.
I like the Highlanders. So Sharks are traveling. There's a lot to play here. Sharks are traveling. Highlanders are at home. I don't quite like that Highlanders squad this year, but I still think they're going to beat the Sharks.
Yeah, they started. They have a good footing to build off of. So I'm going to go with the Highlanders. Brumbies Rebels. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm taking the Rebels. They're gonna wake up and get a big old smack from their coach.
I'm also taking the Rebels. I think they're just a better team.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the fun part: Chiefs and Crusaders. You gotta go with them.
I'm going with them.
You hoping that Warren Gatland starts Aaron Crude and doesn't put him on the bench?
He's not Eddie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He figures out who's a good player.
But I also think just the way that the Chiefs played, they're at home. If they're gonna beat the Crusaders, this is then it's gonna happen.
Right.
It's still early,
and
the
they may
season.
not have Richie Mo'unga.
Yeah.
Although Chiefs won't have Damian Mack. It's already been said that he's gonna be saved.
Yeah, they didn't need him last week, so I think, and I realize it's a different situation, but they have such depth at that
outside
backs.
Yeah.
There's back three.
Back three. Yep.
It's not. They'll miss him, but they'll still operate just as well.
Yeah. In a track meet, I'm going to take the defending champs.
It's definitely going to be a track. Take the over in this match.
Yeah, if you got a betting site that can take over under on this one, take the over. Taz Blues. I'm going to take the. Oh goodness gracious! Do I want to take the Taz at home? Oh man.
Already written down my answers.
Yeah, I'm glad you've done that. Shoot. Close my eyes and I'll take the Waratahs.
Allez les Bleus.
Yeah, the other blue. Yeah, and again, I don't think this one's going to be a low scoring game either, though. Lions.
I don't
Reds.
think any match that the Chiefs or Blues are involved in is going to be low scoring.
You might be right about that. Lions and Reds. Yeah, I know this is really tough to pick. Again, kind of the same situation as Rebels. They're going back home at least. The Lions are. Mm-hmm. Reds are coming off a good game as well. They did lose. Lions got tonked, and they're gonna get a freaking boot up their ass, I bet. So I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Yeah, the travel involved.
Mm-hmm.
The Lion, the Reds just traveled, but I know it's Australia, but still, it's not the
it's not
short trip.
And
then now they got to travel over to South Africa. So yeah, I'm gonna go Lions on this one.
Stormers Bulls. I love the guy. I'm going to take Martin Stain and the Bulls.
Oh.
I really like him. It's bringing back to many years ago where I watched him play against the Lions on that tour, and he still looks every bit the part.
See, I was not that impressed with the Bulls, and I was incredibly impressed with the way the Stormers played in Week 1.
Well, they played some pretty damn good defense at the very least.
Right, and that alone, I think, is going to, and they still are bringing along some of their players. Mm-hmm. Because they made some big changes there, especially around the midfield. So
yep,
I'm going to go with the Stormers.
Okay, Stormers it is.
You went Bulls?
Yeah, I went Bulls.
Ooh, we got a lot.
We got a little bit of shift that's going to come this week, I think.
This will help.
What
are you going to do here?
Oh God, listen, I didn't back them in South Africa. I'm not gonna back them in freaking Argentina either. I'm sorry, they're gonna come back 0-2.
Yeah.
It's just
I think that was planned.
They need some home cooking.
Yeah,
they need some home cooking badly.
They didn't travel with their top squad. They kind of sent their shags a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
they sent a few of them at least.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Jags, unfortunately. I will still be cheering my ass off for the Hurricanes to win, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Moi aussi, because I am now French.
All right. This is pretty good. I like this. All right. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. We always appreciate you. Our draft episode is our most downloaded one from this year ever. Our draft episode from this year is the most downloaded ever. So to anybody that thinks that we either really fucked up or that we're really good, I don't know which one. But thanks a lot for doing that, guys. Appreciate it.
I don't request feedback very often. I would like to know
why.
Why? Yeah. And it's not. Look, it kind of makes sense as to especially if you're drafting, you want to hear what the experts are saying. But at the same, and also it's kind of fun. It's a little bit more of a content-free, pure banter. Us just kind of commenting on what's happening.
It's super banter.
Stream of consciousness. So I'm just kind of interested in seeing what you have to say about it. So please, if you've downloaded and listened, let us know what you think.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter, send us an email, something.
I just want to hear what you have to say, because it now traditionally, because we've done it a couple of years now, is our most downloaded show.
Yeah,
each year.
It was that last year. It got surpassed by our
Six Nations.
Our Premiership preview.
Okay.
This year.
All right.
And now that's been surpassed by this episode.
So I just want to know what tickles your fancy about it.
Yeah,
really.
It'd be very interesting. But in the meantime, thanks a lot for coming along for the ride. We'll be back next week to review more of the same that we've just gone over this weekend, and it's still going to be some good stuff, I promise. So thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Have a good week. Enjoy your weekend without football, and bye-bye. Have a good one.
Later.